Our tour around high school basketball here in the Bold North State continues now with the #1 RPI team in the state. In 3A, we're talking about the Crest Chargers. Brad Levine is their head coach. And Guy, you have been going for 39 years, 6 at Crest, and this team is certainly one that could be very special come mid-March in the Twin Cities.
Yes, sir. We're very, very excited to be in this situation. This is a special time of year every year when you make postseason and your teams are able to get in the playoffs and everybody starts back out 0-0. So it's a great time of year.
When did you know that this group of Chargers was going to be special?
Well, actually 2 years ago, 2 of my kids have started since they were freshmen, and another kid started as a sophomore. So I've actually had 4 of these kids play for me for the last 2 years. And we went third round 2 years ago, and last year we made the 4th round and ended up getting beat out in the 4th round of the playoffs by a very good Southern Guilford team, best team out of Greensboro last year. And I just felt like, all along as we did the things that we're supposed to and get prepared, and I felt like we would have a chance. And we finished up second in a really, really good, strong Big South 3A conference to Ashbrook first. Hunter Huss was in there, Kings Mountain, South Point, some really, really good basketball teams. So I feel like we're prepared.
Was there one defining moment during your regular season that showed you that this team could not only be good in the regular season, but might have what it takes to be a good playoff team?
We have so many players at Crest. Crest is a very, very well-known football school in the last 20 years, and almost my entire team is football players. And it took us till after Christmas to really start getting our feet on the court and get our cleats out of the grass. And it was probably around the flip of the second half of the conference when I felt like my teams had played close in quite a few games, 1, 2, 3-point games, and we were able to be successful in those games. And that showed me as we got into the second half of the season, I felt like that we had a chance because we were winning the close games, and that's hard to do.
Brad Levine, the head coach at the Crest Chargers, with us. The Chargers, the top overall RPI team in 3A men's basketball, all pointing towards Winston-Salem and a date to play for the state championships that coming up March 14th and 15th. The centralized location for all 8 championship games in North Carolina is a relatively new concept. You've been coaching in the Old North State here for almost 4 decades. What does that mean to high school basketball in North Carolina to rise up and maybe have the same single weekend event status that the football championships have always enjoyed?
It is probably one of the best things that the state of North Carolina has done for men's basketball. We as basketball coaches and the Coaches Association have talked for years and years and years about centralizing a location to where a lot of states, Indiana, New York, you can name a lot of states, especially up north, that have brought their people together. Kentucky, bring their whole state together for a week of just basketball and every classification, everybody. And we finally decided last year that we would do that and bring our regions and our states together. And it was a fantastic week of basketball. I went for 4 days last year to Wake Forest, and it was a very, very exciting, fun week. And I know all the kids were excited and the coaches, and the outcome when we got to our coaches clinic this summer, we talked about it. And we're just tickled that we're able to play a whole week of basketball.
I'm from Western North Carolina. You've spent a lot of your life in the western part of the state. And when I think of basketball towns, Shelby's right there. So what would this mean to Crest, to Shelby, for your Chargers to bring home the gold and bring home that big trophy from Winston-Salem?
Well, I've been real fortunate once in my life to have lived that, and I did it at Chapel Hill, and when I was at East Rutherford, and we were able to win the state championship, and honestly, that was one of the greatest days of my entire life, and because I saw young men accomplish something together, and here in Shelby, it's kind of this is kind of football rules roost here in Cleveland County, but back in the day now. Probably one of the greatest college players to ever put on a pair of tennis shoes. And that Mr. David Thompson was right here down the road, old number 44. And he played at Crest High School. So it would mean the world because these people love athletics in Cleveland County. Cleveland County is just a different animal when it comes to athletics. And these people really appreciate good athletics. And it would mean the world if we had a chance to win the state championship.
Man, when you talk about national players of the tournament at the NCAA level, David Thompson in 74 and Charlotte
Yes, sir.
Smith 20 years later in
Oh, yeah.
94, his niece.
Yeah.
That you might want to just go to that family tree and just get all of those types of folks to come over and play for the Chargers because that's a talented basketball family from Shelby.
You better believe it. You better believe it. There's been some really, really good athletes come out here. Football, basketball, baseball. I mean, you name it. This is a haven for athletics in Cleveland County.
Brad Levine, he is the head coach of the Crest Chargers, the #1 RPI team in 3A men's basketball, getting ready for the 2025 NCHSAA Basketball Championships, and we'll cover it for you right here on the North Carolina Sports Network.